Excuse me. Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode number 290. Yep, 290. Yep. Yeah, I do realize, though, it's been the first time in, it's been like over a month since my last review. Well, that's mainly because I worked a lot of Male Heroes last month. Yep, that's simply the reason for it. Yep. Now, this one we're discussing the 26th Super Sentai, which is Ninpuu Sentai Hurricaneger. And there are many fun facts in this one. Let's get them started first. Look at the episodes themselves, which I'm discussing 4 episodes. First 4. First, second ever Sentai that's ninja based. Number 2, it is the last Sentai to cover where it's a Sentai where I started and I never finished it. The last time I watched any episode from the show was back in the start of 2017 when I put my Sentai review series on hiatus for about a few years. Because I was just suffering from burn. I need a long break. And I came back to it. Yep. Of course, also, next fun fact is that this was adapted to Ninja Storm. Yes, the season aired back in 2003. And also, this was the very first Power Ranger season where I watched the premiere when it happened. Because the previous couple seasons, that didn't happen. The first full season I kind of mostly watched, with the exception of the premiere, the finale stuff, and team up with Lightsy Rescue, was Time Force. And later on, I did watch the missing episodes. Wild Force, I watched a good chunk of it, but not entirely per se. I would say like the earliest one I watched was probably Lightspeed Rescue. That was based upon Gogo 5, which I have discussed already. That was like about back in 2016, I think it was. I discussed that. So, yeah, first I watched the premiere, but I missed the finale. This was the second to last show I missed the finale for, because basically, here was the weird thing about the finale when it came to Power Rangers. Start with this one. Every time we get to the finale, I am missing it. Excuse me. The reason? Because my siblings and I would fight over the remote every Saturday, and I really want to watch the finale. Wasn't able to. And the very first Power Rangers season I actually did watch the finale for was SPD. That was the first one I watched entirely all the way through. The only episode I missed was the second team episode, Wormhole, where they once again team up with the cast of Down Thunder. So, this one adapted for, of course, like I mentioned, Ninja Storm, aired in 2003. It was the first ever series that basically Disney did, and the last one I did was Go Onger. Well, actually RPM, but that's the outside little fun fact. This one, well, so this Sentai, it's probably the first one since Sun Volk. Actually, no, first one since Live Man to officially start with 3 people. Yep, Live Man was the last one to do this. And of course, it starts with basically having a Yellow Ranger be a guy, and the girl being basically the Blue Ranger. Now, for Sentai, this is nothing new. And here's what I find interesting. The previous show, before this one, Gal Ranger, the Yellow Ranger was a guy. And you might be asking, Nick, when was the last Sentai series where the Yellow Ranger was, in fact, a woman? The last known time this happened was Mega Ranger. I don't remember it happened with Abba Ranger. I know you might think it did happen with Bokenger. It did. Gecko Ranger was definitely a woman. The yellow was a woman. But no Pink Ranger for that one. What about, let's say, Go Onger? Yep, that one did have one. That one did also kind of start with 3 too, but it had 2 more with the next episode. So, now, we do have some similarities between watching the first episode. It's similar to that of the opening episode of Ninja Storm. So, in both instances, both students of Ninja Academy. Though this one's going to highlight the Ninja Academy compared to the other one just randomly called Ninja Academy. Now, I did hear something. The original plan for Ninja Storm was going to be apparently like it was supposed to be like bringing in like all of the previous Ranger teams and be mentors, and they've turned to Power Rangers Civil War. Excuse me. And you're probably thinking that purpose kind of interesting. Why it didn't happen? Very simple reason why. Money. Yes, it would have cost way too much money to fly at that point a whole bunch of actors to New Zealand, because that was the first. This also was Ninja was the first one basically in New Zealand. We shot New Zealand anyways. And of course, they did that up until Cosmic Fury, but enough about that. So both of them like this now. Blue, they did change her in Power Rangers, because in Power Rangers, Blue is a surfer. Here, she becomes a singer, an idol. Now, what about the other two? Red is, well, you can tell by his personality, he is drastically different than he was in Ninja Storm. He's very, like, okay. He's like, it almost seems like he doesn't know what he wants to do half the time. He sadly put the actor who played him since passed away. Of course, never got a chance to meet him. I did ask about this to the Mercury Ranger from Operation Overdrive, if he ever met him before he passed away. He said no, but he did meet his brother. And plus, also, he was the first ever someone to be a Red Ranger. I also heard he also had with them some personal problems at the time before his passing, so I'm not going to basically harp on him per se. It's just that I'm basically going to blame what happened with him in Ninja Storm, like his performance. I blame that on the directors for that. It's similar to the case of the Mega Force. At least in the case of Ninja Storm, at least he actually, how should I put this? At least he actually had charisma. It's just that it just seems he was so a little more laid back than he should be. Yellow was probably the only one I can tell about why he's kind of similar to how he is in Power Rangers. He was the only one that actually kind of got similarity with this one, instead of drastically altering the character. And plus, also in that one, they claim all Power Rangers like a comic book cover. Here, there's no mention of previous teams at this point in time. We'll find out a little later about that. So, the Ninja Master, who is, well, the one they had in Power Rangers was basically like not like a stereotypical one, just basically a bit of a chubby guy who just let's just say is a Ninja Master, and the one making their gear he has a son in that one, Cam. This one's a woman named Osru, who is the daughter, and she is a tech wizard just like Cam is. Also, you might be curious, does she become the Green Ranger? Nope, it's a complete separate person. They kind of combine two characters into one with that one. Yes, so in the case of, oh, by the way, I did notice this when I saw their morphers later on in episode 1. It's pretty much the same design. Like, they alter nothing about the morphers at all. Though they're called different per se. I think they're called something, I don't remember what they're called in Ninja Storm, but they're not called Ninja Gyros like they are in here. So, he's training, and we actually see an actual class instead of, just sparring and then randomly the bad guys show up like it is in Ninja Storm. Here, there's a class going on, and that's when the bad guys show up. Now, unlike in Power Rangers, where it's Lothar, and he is supposedly the Master's brother, here it's, oh, by the way, he also brought in his generals with him too, just to show off, and plus also, it's not Lothar's, it's not a spaceship, it's basically this thing, it's almost like a makeshift island, it's almost like an infestation. And apparently Opus was planning to defend the Earth from these invaders for about 2 months, because the thing opens up with her discovering a centipede monster, well, a centipede signal. And that brings about basically the organization here. Now, the member, by the way, the names of the Hurricanegers are Nanami, she's Hurricane Blue, Kota, that's yellow, and Yusuke is basically Hurricane Red. Oh, by the way, the episode does have a brief cameo by the Go Rangers. Who are the Go Rangers, might ask? Why, if you're familiar in Ninja Storm, this was the Thunder Rangers. Yes, seriously, Thunder Rangers. Yeah, their appearance in the first episode was mostly put just a cameo. Yeah, that's mostly put exactly what they are, what they do here. That's most what they do here. So there's that. Their sensei is Mugase Hinata. That is his name. He was part of headmaster or sensei. Now Obaru, she's played by the actress Sokotika. She was born in 1967, so at the time when this show aired, she was only like 35. Yeah, 35 years old. So I'm sure she's probably like 60 now. I see a picture of her online. She looks really good for her age. Well, in Japan, of course, they would take good care of themselves. So since she's born in 1967, so that means that she's, let's see, she was 40 in 2007, 50 in 2017. So I'd say she is probably about 57. Yeah, she's 57 now. Yeah, so the monster. By the way, the monster attacks here. Now I should point out that basically the generals kind of fill the similar role they do in Ninja Storm, except they're basically like there's just a very few people here. We have First Spear Furbajo, which look at her outfit. She looks exactly like her. She wears the same exact outfit as Maria, her counterpart in Power Rangers. Yeah, it's literally the same exact outfit. Like, same outfit. The biggest difference is her headgear. The eyes in her head are bigger than they are in Power Rangers. There is also Chuzuru. Yeah, his counterpart, which served pretty much the same role, it is Chobu. Yep. Also, in Power Rangers, he actually abducted the students. Here, they have it where his monster just hits him with, like, parchment, and they all, like, disappear into, like, a black hole, and them in the school and the headmaster get sucked into, like, a portal. There's also Moribara. Yeah, a character who I don't remember appearing ever in Power in that show. And it's also Wendiru. Yeah, and I look at like, oh my god, this woman is so beautiful. I looked up basically when she was born. She was born in 1979. She's currently retired, but she came back for the anniversary special. So let's see, 79. So she's about 9 years older than me. So she would be 45 right now. Yep, 45 years old, but damn. There's no denying that this show, basically, for the women, like, they are gorgeous. Oh my god, these women are so beautiful that they have in the show. Nanami is very beautiful. Yes, there's no denying she's a very beautiful woman. She's played by Nao Nagasawa, and she is, believe it or not, about just a few years older than me. So, she probably just celebrated her 40th birthday. Yep. And is she acting now? They don't really say she's acting. It's just that, well, even when she got older and when she appeared in Gokaiger, she's still very beautiful. Yeah, no denying that. Oh, this is interesting. She also did the stunts for the Hurricane Blue suit, which, oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So, and the first monster basically sent here is Barrier Ninja Kataru, and he's from the Alien. There's also very similar cores. You have Alien Ninja Corps, Puppet, and that's it so far. They've only released like 4 monsters in just 3 episodes. The first two, by the way, the Alien Ninja Corps is Kazuma's group. Puppet Ninja Corps, delivered by Sargain, which basically it's a very similar pronunciation in Power Rangers, except for with a Z instead of an S. Aside from that, he fills pretty much the same role, except his personality for this one went to Kabaru. Yep, that's pretty much exactly what they did with him. You're like, really? Yes, really. So, oh, and by the way, if you're really curious, like, how are the three Rangers introduced? They're already on the ground when they're first introduced because in Power Rangers they basically drove it in their van, and they're very lazy and they're not really, they don't have much confidence in their own ninja work, but they're actually really good. Here they're very serious about ninja work, like they do care about it. Oh, does Weber have a girl on the team? From what I can tell, anyways, in the first few episodes, the guys do not have a thing for her at all. That's usually the stereotypical thing when it comes to like, you have a team of 3 people. You have 2 guys and a woman, and the solo woman basically is attracted to one of the guys. From what I can tell, that's not the case. They're just basically really good friends. So they're basically the school is surrounded by a shield made by Ozro, of course, and she, of course, everybody gets abducted, and of course, her father gets transformed into a hamster, and he can't change back because it's revealed that he misspoke the spell. So, yeah, and then we have, like in the case of Power Rangers, we get introduced to they're basically of course now also, if you're curious, does the master wear clothes when he's in hamster form? No, he does not. The one Power Rangers does for some strange reason. I don't know why, but he does. Yeah. So then, of course, they're transported. They have to briefly find the monster, and of course, then they transform and do a bunch of ninja moves, including flying hang gliders. That goes really cool here. And then he's destroyed thanks to the combination of 3 weapons they have, which same with 3 weapons they have in Power Rangers: a hairdryer, a hammer, and a megaphone. And they combine the 3 weapons of one, they destroy the monster at the end of the episode. The very next episode of the series introduces their Megazord, when they battle their second monster of the series, which is one of Zergain's monsters. Yes. Which is Magnet Ninja Jusakaru. Now you might be thinking, where these particular characters pop up on Power Rangers. Mad Magnet did, except he popped up first in he popped up in episode 2, which is interesting. Yes. Here's the only thing that's attracting people, mostly. That's mostly his job. And only appeared 1 episode compared to his counterpart in 3. Yeah. Of course, it's also established that at this point it's been, like, apparently there's a time skip between episodes, and they do establish this one. It's been a week since they defeated the monster. They send a new one out, and then of course after they destroy it, it goes giant size, and then release their Megazords, their Zords, and they combine form their version, basically the Hurricane Robo, which is called. Senpaju. That's basically the name. And it's only like three. It's Ninja Geti Sabaju. It's basically what it is. It's a standard Ninja Storm Megazord one. Mm-hmm. Yep, and then they show the monster with basically one of their auxiliary balls, basically a sword, which slices the monster. Now, also they establish their own day jobs outside of being a Hurricaneger. Blue becomes a singer, Yellow becomes a physical therapist, and Red becomes a window washer. Yes, seriously, a window washer. If you're curious, what was their job in Power Rangers? They work at a surf shop. All three of them do. A surf shop. And I'm surprised given the frequent absences that the boss has fired him for basically even work while his shift's going on. Yeah. That's most of what this episode. That's the whole thing with episode 2. 3, of course, explores a little bit more about Naname's, well, her career as a singer. Apparently, she's singing at pachinko parlors and just random places. And you're thinking, now, some of you might be asking, what is pachinko parlor? It's a gambling den. That's mostly put what it is. It's basically slot. It's like the Japanese version of a slot machine. That's most what a pachinko machine is. That's why I can tell I've seen pictures of it. So, then she gets into it with a producer. And then she gets abducted with a bunch of people to another dimension because we have... Also, this episode, I believe this one introduces... Actually, this episode introduces basically... Oh, by the way, excuse me, if you're curious, is the monster going to think similar to the way it is Ninja Storm, where one of the girls basically uses her phone to basically make a call? It's similar to that, but not really. It's mostly put just... Windaloo just... Well, in the case of the puppet ones, she opens up a mirror, presses for a copy thing. In the case of Kubo for his monsters, he basically creates a special scroll that is fired by a bazooka that basically causes the monster to go giant size. Which, if you're curious, did he use this in Ninja Storm? I believe they did. They did. So, the whole thing is to make copies of people, but I think the best thing about this episode is that we potentially see a development for Naname. Like, basically, potentially her singing career. I do like that. In the case of 4, this is focused on Koda, where basically we debut his sister. Yes, his sister. Who he is very protective of her. Mm-hmm. Well, his sister's name is Mikoto. Which, when I saw her, like, she looked a lot exactly like the sister of the main character from Kuga. But I don't think it's her. Nope. Yeah. So he's like being protective of her. And the fact he saved a child from falling debris, and the fact that it's revealed in the flashback he accidentally caused her injury when she was a child, when they were children. And even she realized that it was an accident. Basically, he does not need to blame himself for it at all. Not really. It's not really necessary for him to blame himself for it. And she probably appreciates the fact that he does take responsibility for it, yes. But there's one also key things with this one is about, well, the main people being reckless about a drill monster. But definitely a good moment for him too. Yep. And of course, his sister decides to go off to Africa. And the thing is, his sister only appears in like 3 episodes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also I should point out though, 3 did introduce something that we would see a similar concept to this scene in Hurricaneger, the Cockaroos. Yes, robots made by Oso to erase people's memories of the Hurricanegers. Why? I don't know why, but they don't appear in episode 4. But yeah, if people see them, they get their memories erased. I'm like, that's a dumb idea. Wouldn't people be cheering for them? So you were like, who? Yes. By the way, Coda's sisters now returned to episode 41, so we got a while before she comes back. But definitely a good start for the series so far. We're only 4 episodes in. Now, unlike in the case of Melder, I will be taking a break at episode 30. That is definite. But I'm also going to I'm going to end it with 30 and Gal Ranger versus versus Hurricane. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, and one thing I need to show you guys here. The main bad guy of Hurricaneger. Because, of course, this is the guy who is, in fact, the counterpart to Lothar. That's him. Yep, that's your counterpart for you for Lothar. Yeah. Oh, name of the group who's bad guys this series? They're known as Space Ninja Group Jinoku, and their grunts are the Geni Matra, and their base is the Parasite Fortress Centipede, which that's what it looks like. Yeah, it's not Lothar's spaceship, and this is basically what the throne room looks like. Yep. I mean, I do think the group is interesting. Yeah. Oh, if you're curious, what did the this is Farber Jew. Yeah, her counterpart on Power Rangers is basically the niece of, well, it's Lothar's niece. Wenderloo, like, look, this is her. You're like, wow, that woman's hot. Yep. And can you believe this woman at the time was? Can you believe this woman was only 23 when this show aired? Yeah, 23 years old, and she's currently in her 40s. Like, damn. Yep. Of course, I'm looking forward to the rest. So that's pretty much that particular view. I have stream to do, and then probably save more episodes for tomorrow. Okay, next view. Bye.